Good evening. It's a little past midnight here, and I thought would do a late night Lego stream tonight. We got home late because we go to temple on Friday nights. So here we are, and I thought I would start your Saturday morning, just after the clock ticks over the day, with some Lego. We're not doing a super huge fancy set like we've been doing today. The past few weeks. But today we will be starting to build my Star Wars clone army. Because today I have the two battle packs that feature the famous 501st clones. In the during the Imperial era, the 501st was one of the central stormtrooper legions and became known as Vader's Fist for their ruthlessness. But back during the Clone Wars era, before all that, they were amongst the top heroes of the Republic during the Clone Wars. So we have this one little battle pack here, which features a artillery cannon and 4 troopers, and then we have this battle pack, which has 4 more troopers, 2 battle droids to fight against them, although they're severely outmatched, and 4 more clone troopers. It's late, and we have a large army team to build today, so let's go ahead and get right into it. I'm going to start with the smaller battle pack first. So we'll do this cannon. And I do have a tool. I pulled out a tool because none of these sets have their own separator. These sets are all too small. So here's the front of the box. You can see the cannon and the 4 troopers. You can see in the picture how they all have slightly different accessories, but they all have the same basic design. And then here's the back of the box, and you can see some more views. And it looks like there's a flick fire missile, and maybe some stud shooters. We'll have to see how this turns out. There's the back again, front. Let's go ahead and get this open and get started. So yeah, normally I stream on Saturdays, but I have a party to go to on Saturday night. So in order to stream on Saturday, I basically had to do a midnight stream Friday night into Saturday. So that's cool. Alright, it's open. We have 3 little bags here. I don't see numbers. Of course, here's our little instruction sheet. And I will set that aside. And not knowing what to do with the numbers, so let's go ahead and pull up our instructions here. Yeah, that's the one we just opened. Okay. So here's our instructions. And it shows us opening all the bags because there's no number there. And it gives separate instructions for 2 of the troopers. So let's get these bags open and get started. And I learned my lesson with the Mando Starfighter. I am not going to load up the missiles. We'll test the stud shooters as I usually do in the careful controlled test manner that I do, but we're not going to load up the missiles. And here's an assortment of clone accessories. And all the heads will be the same because these are clone troopers. And these are generic unnamed troopers. So here's all our parts for the first set. Let's go ahead and alright, so it shows the first trooper. Okay, so there's actually 2 different torso prints going on here. But I think they all have the same head. Yeah. They all have this. Yeah, they all have the same head going on, but there's 4 different assortments of accessories here. So it says this first one is going to get the short blaster. And he's going to get a helmet with an antenna on it. There's subtle differences in these helmets that I didn't notice before. I want to make sure that everyone gets the correct parts. Are the torso prints different too? Well, the torso prints I know are different. I gave this guy the wrong torso. I want this one with the blue belt. I think it's cool that they have subtle different prints going on here. Okay, so these 2 helmets are the same, and then the ones over here. Okay, which ones do I want? I can't tell, really. Give me a moment, because these helmets are subtly different here. I'm going to go with this one. I'm sure it doesn't really critically matter, but... Alright, we'll just leave this head on, this torso, and we'll just take another head to finish this trooper. So he gets a helmet. All 4 of them get helmets, but first, all 4 of the troopers in this box have the same basic face print here. So that's what the trooper looks like under the helmet. They are clones after all. One of the cool things about the show, though, the Clone Wars shows that each of the different commanders and stuff, each of the different clones have their own personality, and so they all had different hairstyles. So the picture shows this clone getting an antenna and the short blaster. So let me go ahead and give him his equipment. And he gets this blue antenna on up here on his helmet. There's the first trooper, ready for battle. And as usual, we'll sit him down to watch the build. Now we're going to get 2 more clone troopers. This one's got a 2X on it. Hold on, did I mess that up again? No, I didn't. Okay. Yeah, this one's the one with the belt print on the leg. Okay. So, this assortment, we want to do 2 of these guys. And these guys have a different torso print. And before I put the head on, I have to give him this little backpack thing, which has a printed tile on it with the, okay, so he wears a little, these 2 troopers are going to wear this little bag on their back, printed with the Republic logo. Tiny little Republic insignia that'll go on the back of these troopers. It's a bit early in the stream to be having a Butterfinger moment, but that was a guy's head, so it's crucially important to recover that piece before we continue. Alright, I have to make another one of those backpacks now. Excuse me. Okay, so they both get this visor across their helmet. And then, in addition to the visor, they're going to get this other two-part gun that we'll be putting together for them. So let's make the two helmets, and we'll make the two guns, and then we'll equip them up. It's more efficient, I think. So these are bigger blasters than the other guy had. So let's load them up. And both of these troopers have the same accessories. So I'll just show off one. Here's the one trooper with a bigger blaster and his visor. And we will give this trooper the same stuff. And he's exactly the same, so here he is. Same deal with this one. And then we get one more trooper here. And he just gets a, looks like a basic white visor over his helmet. This might be one of those macro view visors that troopers sometimes have, because it goes over his eye section. Okay, and he gets a really big rifle. Which uses this candlestick piece as an extension. That's how big his rifle is. He might be the special ops guy, the sniper of the group. Based on his macro vision helmet and his long rifle. There's this guy. And now, with the troopers set up, we can, I guess the next page is where the actual build begins. Last night at the holiday Thanksgiving dinner, um, I taught Shayna how to build Lego. We might see her on a Lego stream in the future. Way in the future. I don't have equipment I can bring over there right now. So, yeah, that's not happening. Maybe sometime next year we'll make it work. But it'd be nice to have her on stream again. She keeps asking when we can do it. It just I don't have a portable stream setup right now. That's another reason why we haven't been doing piano practice streams. It's after midnight, so I'm not too talkative right now. Temple was interesting tonight, and after Temple we went out for pizza. I'm up half the night when I do these midnight streams, but that's okay because sometimes you just need to stay up all night. I have a party to go to tomorrow night though, so hopefully I can get at least a few hours of sleep before then. I do like that even though the troopers have the distinctive blue of the 501st, this vehicle has the crimson trim of the Republic. It's not really a vehicle so much as it is a mobile weapon. Okay, and there's a seating platform for one of the troopers, it looks like. Star Wars battle packs are fun because they're good for army building. A support to help it stand, I guess. Alright, that's, let me see something real quick. So that's the juniorized instructions. It doesn't explicitly say 2x. Instead, it shows you the inset picture twice. So we're going to do the section one page at a time, like I always do. Okay, we needed to do that again. Okay, to do that here too. I want to really start expanding my Star Wars collection next year, if the budget allows. We'll also be doing a lot more Mario, like we've been doing. Okay, so we have 2 legs of the artillery here. And here we're building the other 2 legs of the artillery, which look like they're exactly the same. If they're exactly the same, why didn't it just have us do a 4x to begin with? No matter. Since we've built this before, we know what we're doing and can move through this step quickly. If we can find the correct pieces in the pile, of course. That's always the first step towards getting any Lego step done correctly. Now, when we do the battle droids in the other battle pack, we're going to set them aside. They're not going to be part of the clone trooper lineup. I just don't feel like they need to be there. I'm not even sure if I'll include them in the exit spread, but because they're not part of the clones. Maybe I'll lay them down on the ground like they're dead battle droids. Maybe I'll do that for the exit spread. So our little cannon platform has legs now. Let's just... Let's just make sure that they're... Yeah. They're smooth with the ground. I'm not sure if they're evenly spread, but that's something that can be adjusted in posing later. Okay. And now we have to do an assembly. This assembly comes with one of these cannons, which we are not loading. I don't want to lose my missiles. There's a lot of gray in Lego Star Wars. It's one of the more monocolor themes. I like when they're able to break it up a bit with a splash of color. It's not every vehicle that they can get away with that on, but there's quite a few that have splashes of color. Okay. Looks like we're gonna tile off the sides of this gun unit thing that we're making. Let's see, did I miss something there? No, I didn't. Okay. Interesting. Not a lot of pieces left. It'll be interesting to see how this is all meant to come together here. So this goes onto these clips like this. Okay, so that's where the missiles are going to launch from. It looks like now we're going to build an upper gun for display, and then the lower slot is where the actual firing missile is going to go. Let's see if I can't get this to push into place a little bit better. I don't think there we go. So yeah, this goes into the upper gun like this and becomes the turret cannon, and then the lower gun gets loaded with the missile, and that'll go in like this, and then you just push it out and it flies. But these are the spring-loaded ones, so they're powerful. So I'm not gonna load that. Well, I'll load it, but I won't push it in all the way. I'll put it about that far. I'm not clicking it. So there's our cannon with a partially loaded missile that's not loaded enough to fire. So I have all these spare bits that need to get set aside. So yeah, the cannon went together pretty quickly. We're only a half hour into stream, and that includes the talky bits at the beginning. And I'll set the extra missile aside. So there's our completed turret. The first of three military hardware builds we're doing tonight. And here's the advertisement: the Boba Fett microfighter, the TIE bomber, and yeah, alright. So I'm going to turn the instructions off and get ready for the second set now. We have here the other battle pack. This one's a little more substantial. 4 more troopers. One of them is going to be a jet trooper. And we also have a speeder and a walker we'll be building. And 2 battle droids that are going to get set aside. Well, we can leave the battle droids dead on the table, I guess. Alright, so I'll go ahead and get the instructions ready. Because this one needs to be relined up. So here's, before I put the instructions on the screen, I mean, because we always have to show off the box. There's the front of the box, and there's the back of the box. This is some more this is some more clone troopers from the 501st. Let's go ahead and get this one open now. Okay, what's going on in here? So we have a sticker sheet for this one. Interesting. Was not expecting that. Battle packs don't use, well, this is actually on at the this is one of those larger battle packs, as evidenced by the fact there's 2 builds and 2 droids. So here's the sticker sheet. Lots of blue detailing for the 501st there. And we do have numbered bags this time. There is a 1 and a 2. So I'm just going to set, bag 2 off to the side. And here's the instructions. The paper instructions, of course, we set off to the side. And I can go ahead and bring up the there's 11 stickers here. That's a lot of stickers for the size of this set. It's not that big a set. Not too many stickers, though. We'll manage. Let's see. We have the instructions we're setting up here. So bag 1 is the first 2 troopers. And the, hold on. Let me, I need to make sure I can just look in the instruction book for this. I want to make sure, because I just realized that one of the troopers from the other set has blue sleeves, which means he's different somehow. Yeah, I gave the correct accessories to the blue sleeve trooper. We're good to go. So yeah, he must be a special ops unit. So bag 1 is 2 troopers, the battle droids, and the speeder. And then bag 2 will be the other 2 troopers and the walker. It looks like, yeah, it looks like these 2 troopers are going to be set up the same way. Up till this point, I only had one singular clone trooper in my minifigure collection, and he was just a plain basic clone trooper. So now we're adding a whole squad. And my one lone battle droid is going to be joined by 2 more. But I mean, I've gotten other droids since then. I have 2 BB droids, 2 astromech droids. I think that's all the droids I have so far. Oh, no, I have a BD droid as well. And it looks like these faces are pretty much the same again. Again, more clones. It looks like these guys get the basic helmets. And basic guns. It's 2 different blaster types here, I think. I also see stud shooters in my pile as well. They might. Let me pull out all the guns and just see what I've got. Because Yeah, it looks like the battle droids and the clone troopers for this set are going to get the same guns. So here's what this clone trooper looks like. Basic clone trooper with a blaster. And these guys, because they're from a different set, I'll set the troopers from this set over on this side of the spread. Let's move these guys back so you can see them you can see them better. All right, one more clone trooper. All right, there's the other head. And he's exactly the same, so I don't need to show him again. He'll just sit with his friend. Brother, they're clones, they're brothers. Alright, 2 battle droids. It looks like they're going to get the same blasters. Okay. Here's one battle droid. And he'll be dead in front of the troopers. And we need to do one more droid. Battle droids are a little weak sauce. Their strength comes in numbers. 2 of them is not going to be enough to fight this Legion. Here's the other battle droid. And we'll put him dead in front of these guys. Or we'll just line them down next to the troopers like this. Alright, that's as good a spread as any. Let's begin the speeder. And here's that pentagonal shield tile that I like. I think it's got a nice shape. It's good. It's used a lot for detail. Where's the piece? It slows down the build when pieces blend into the parts pile. I'm looking for one very specific piece here. There it is. Okay, so let's do what this step says to do, and then I can make sure everything is centered once I get everything lined up. Because this piece is going to want to be centered on the rod, I think. Yeah, this thing is meant to be centered. We can always adjust it later when we're actually adding stuff onto the sides. We can push it through to make sure it's even more perfectly centered than it is now. Wow. Excuse me. Oh, that's the last blue piece in this pile. So this speeder, once I put this on, has all the blue trim it's going to get. Well, we also have the sticker sheet, so it doesn't have all the blue trim it's going to get. Wrong piece. We want jumpers here, not tiles. I really do want to start thinking about expanding on my Lego Star Wars collection. Our first sticker of the set, it's going to go on this long piece here. And it's just this blue rectangle. Just a color marking, so As long as it's reasonably straight, we'll be okay. I don't think it needs in particular to line up with it, anything so long as it's straight and centered. Oh man, it's doing funky things. Hold on. We'll get there. Alright, so there's the little sticker. And that'll go along the front like that. I think that's the front. Okay, so this piece is going to get 3 different stickers on it. And these stickers do have to line up with each other, but they're all going on the same piece. But the side stickers also have to line up with what's already on here. So let's put the piece on, and then I will try and get these stickers lined up. But we're going off the edge of the piece. We don't want this bleeding onto the next sticker. Onto the next piece. Because that would be Lego illegal if the sticker goes onto the next piece. Bear with me, I'm trying to get the stickers to line up the best I can for this section. Okay, that one's kind of centered, lined up pretty well. And that sticker messed itself up. Let's get it all into alignment now and try and fix the sticker. Let's see. Do I bleed into the next piece? I do not, but it's close. And there's visible creasing, but only in certain light. Okay, not too bad on the stickers back there, but you can see the back portion of the speaker now has a lot of this blue color blocking, thanks to the 3 stickers we just put on. Okay, one more of those. Okay, let's try and center that a little more. Okay, So we have the controls for the speeder now, the control sticks. So yeah, this will be my last stream for the weekend and the holiday weekend. And then next week I'll be back with some more content sometime. Not sure exactly what or when, which day, but it'll be a few days before the next stream. So the basic shape, well, I should say not basic, but the shape of the speeder is pretty much together. And what we're doing now is all the little detailing bits that make each speeder unique. There's plenty of different, there's dozens of different speeder builds across LEGO Star Wars and across Star Wars itself. Many different kinds of hovercraft speeder vehicles. They were introduced all the way back in the very first Star Wars movie and have appeared in like every Star Wars media since. Okay, it looks like we're setting up a stud shooter. Obviously, I do the controlled test of these, but then I leave them dummied out for the display by not loading the ammo in once they're set up. So a little stud into test. Oh, there's two different stud shooter models, subtly different. One, you attach them by the stud, and the other you side load. But this one is working, so let's just proceed with setting it up. And this one will go along here like this. this piece goes onto here, onto the pin like this. This one attaches in like this. So now we do the stud shooter for the other side. Let's test. I always do a controlled test of the stud shooter to make sure I assembled the trigger correctly. Alright, that one's working. It will not be loaded again this stream. And that will go on here. Okay. We just hit the hour mark of stream, but I knew it was going to be a shorter one today. We're almost done with the second of the 3 builds here. Let's make sure that's straight-ish. Okay, those are on. They don't look quite straight. They look a little crooked to me. Might just be the way they're molded and the way the light is hitting them. Blaster pieces with lightsaber hilt pieces on the side for these show lasers on the side. And by show lasers, I mean these are prop lasers. They don't actually do anything. One more of these mega lasers on the side. I like how the vehicles combine the show accurate prop weapons with the actual functional play weapons. But since I mainly use these for display, not play, because I don't want to lose my pieces, the play weapons don't actually get used. And we're going to make a little ammo pile here and set it aside. Little ammo pile. These don't go in the spare parts baggie. Those actually stay with the instructions in the sets assigned baggie. Alright, so before we go into bag 2, we have to take all the spare bits off. They gave us one each of the 2 battle droid arm types, as well as an extra lightsaber hilt. And they gave us the little bar piece. We can make our own little representation of an obsidian lightsaber. If we don't yeet the pieces off the table. It doesn't mean anything, but here's a nice little obsidian lightsaber. But it's meaningless. Let's go on to bag 2. Bag 2 is going to give us 2 more clone troopers. One of which is a jetpack trooper. Interesting. So this bag is going to give us the last 2 troopers and the walker. Looks like we're going to get another sniper in this bag too, but this time without the macro vision. Macro visor, I mean. So we'll start with our regular trooper here. Okay, let's put together his rifle. This rifle is built the same way as the sniper from the first battle pack, except this guy doesn't have the macro visor. Actually, he's otherwise the same as the first 2 troopers, other than his weapon. But here's the sniper. And now let's do the jet trooper. And he's got this really nice blue jetpack piece going on. And a different helmet with specialized markings to show his advanced status. And we'll get his blaster together. He's even got some subtle red markings on his helmet. Probably to show his elite status. And I just dropped a piece. So let's get the trooper together and then I'll pick that up. So here's the jet trooper. You can see the specialized red markings on his helmet and how he has different printing on his helmet and a different torso pattern. Blue sleeves as well, and there's his little jetpack on the back. Same piece they used for the Boba Fett minifigures, but in a different color. And by Boba Fett, I mean generically a lot of Mandos, a lot of Mandalorian characters. Anyway, I never showed you a full look at the completed speeder, so here's the speeder. One of the fancier, more substantial speeders I've done on this channel so far. And I'll set this aside so that we can focus the build area on the walker now. Where are those pieces? There's one. Walkers are a staple in both the Clone Army and the Imperial Army. And then even later, the First Order Army. They come in many shapes and sizes. I would never do a big, substantial, huge set as a midnight stream. But very likely that when I do those sets, they go past midnight. Our first assembly here. Well, I guess technically our second assembly. Okay. Sorry, I ran out of stuff to talk about again, which is forgivable because it's so late at night now. It's the middle of the night here. Okay. So tomorrow I'll be partially dismantling my Speed Champions garage to make some more display space. So instead of showing off all 43 cars, now I'll be showing 16 at a time. I'll rotate them every few weeks, but putting them into the rotation as well, rather than leaving them permanent, will free up 3 cubes for further display space that I can rotate. And with my collection showing no signs of slowing down, the more spaces I can figure out for myself, the better off I'll be, given how much limited display space I have. I've already picked out the 16 cards for the first rotation. I just haven't actually taken the others out yet. There it is. Okay. One more of those. There it is. Okay, so this whole section attaches to this frame like this. Okay. Looks like we're starting to get some basic shapes together. And that looks like we're putting on a printed console piece for the vehicle controls. There's the printed control panel. Okay, where's the... There it is. It looks like these stickers need to line up, so let's get them onto the model and then I'll put them on. Wow, that's really not lining up. Let me see, can I adjust these a little bit to make them line up a little bit better? It's not going to be perfect at this point since I have to do an adjustment. But at least I can make it better than it is now. It's not perfect, but now it's not centered at all. Actually, did I make it better or worse? This part needs to center a little better, which means the other sticker will probably need to be redone as well. Because this sticker, if it's not centered better, is going to look sloppy. Okay, it's not bad in its current form. It's not perfect. Those are those two stickers. So that goes on here like this. And here is another stud shooter assembly. Okay, this one works. Let's proceed with the build and never load it again. What am I doing wrong here? Oh, it goes on like this. Okay, I see what that's doing. Okay. And now we're getting 2 more stickers that say 501 on them, but it's black against dark blue, so they're hard to read. Also, these stickers are a little inaccurate. In the actual Star Wars galaxy, these stickers would have been printed in, or these markings would have been printed in the Orabish versions of the numbers. But here's a stylized 501, and the other side is going to get one of these as well. Stickers, I mean. Okay. Where's that? So it looks like that's a special Titan piece we're looking for now. That the rest of the step is gonna be based around. Here it is. I'm not seeing a gray bar in this parts pile. Did I leave it in the bag? No, there's nothing in the bags. Alright, then where's that gray bar gone to? Did it roll off? Let's get some light onto my floor. Looks like it's a crucial piece, so we have to find it. I found something I can use. I'm not sure if it's the exact piece or if it's one that's been down there for a while. Yeah, it's definitely a lot shorter than the pictures, but we'll go ahead and use it. Because the actual piece is not appearing in my parts pile. Okay. Hopefully that doesn't look too awkward. It's good enough. If that other bar turns up as we move through this parts pile, I'll replace it in, because this replacement one I found on the floor was too short. It doesn't look quite right, but it's better than not having the piece at all. So time for another sticker. Here's this sticker. And this one goes onto here. Like that. Okay. Oh, I put these other flag bits in the wrong spot. There's another layer of flags that we're putting up top here. So these are actually meant to go down here. And then this goes up here like this. And then these flags go on here. Well, I say flags, they're not really flags. In this case, they're meant to be shaping panels. Okay, now we've corrected all those siding panels. And now we finally get to start the legs. And each of the legs will get one of these little detailing stickers, and then we'll be done with the sticker sheet. That's what the sticker looks like. There's that sticker. There's the empty sticker sheet. We're almost done with this build. Seeing as to how we're working on the legs now. There's not a lot of parts left in the parts pile. And this is a 2X build, so you know how we do these things. Okay, here's a 2X on the 2X. And this will use most of the remaining pieces, I think. We just passed 2 o'clock in the morning where I am, but we're almost done. And by almost done, I mean not quite really. Because remember when I told you we were doing 3 builds tonight? Well, I actually have a surprise 4th build that I'll be revealing as soon as we finish this walker. I think you'll appreciate my attention to detail, but that the last build represents. Okay, so these legs are gonna be attached to these feet units, and then we gotta make sure the legs are even so it'll stand properly, and we're attached to the feet units, and now the walker can stand, but it's at an awkward angle right now. So let's fix the pose. We want that parallel, I guess. So now we're just putting on these round detailing bits around the legs, on the over the joints. And these two pieces will go off, and then I will add these two studs to the ammo pile, since it's all the same set. So here's a big ammo pile that will supply both vehicles, but probably never. Just good to have them. So the walker is done. Very nice how this one came out. This looks like one of those scout patrol walkers that the clones use. But, like I said, we have a surprise fourth build here. We have here a nice team of clone troopers. We have here a nice team of clone troopers. But what is an army without its commanding officers? The guys in charge of tactics, of leading the troops into battle. We have the 501st's brave captain, Captain Rex. There's actually two characters in the Star Wars universe called Captain Rex. Captain Rex was also the name long before the Clone Wars were created, when the Star Tours attraction first opened at the Disney parks. The Star Tours shuttle was piloted by a droid named Captain Rex. When Star Tours was refurbished and given new scenes, other droids took over, but Captain Rex, in his retirement, became the DJ at Oga's Cantina on the planet at Black Spire Outpost on Batuu. But this is Captain Rex of the Clone Wars, arguably a more famous and popular Captain Rex from that galaxy. This is his Y-wing microfighter. I'm not really into the microfighters too much. I think they're a little cartoony for my taste, but I think this one's perfect for leading these other three vehicles into battle. And we get Captain Rex. Captain Rex was able, after Order 66, Captain Rex was able to break his programming, and so he never actually served the Empire. He actually joined the Rebels. So Captain Rex never served on the 501st during the Vader's Fist era, but during the Clone Wars, he was the captain, loyal to the Jedi under Anakin, and he led these other troopers into many battles and many victories. All right, so there's the front of the box, and there's the back of the box. And let's go ahead and get set with this one. All right, let's open up this box. So I actually looked at the three boxes and added up the piece counts for the three sets. And as it turns out, we almost had a magic number tonight, but we just missed it. The three sets together have a listed piece count of 503. So we missed having the special number by 2. Here's the instructions. Um, so there's that. Okay. Um, and in this instruction book, so there is a bag 1 and a bag 2 going on here, and a little unmarked baggie with clone accessories. So let's set bag 2 aside. Here's bag 1. So in this set, we only have one clone trooper to build, but he's the captain, and I think he's got some accessories going on. Okay, let's see. So he actually gets a cape. Interesting. Well, not a cape, but one of those. What's it called? The shoulder piece? The bit that goes over the shoulder. Oh, I see. And this actually has some printing on it. Okay, so this goes over his arm like this. It uses the cape material, but it actually goes over the shoulder. And then he has a slightly different face print, because some of the clones have some of the named clones have individualized looks. So here's what his face looks like. You can see the bandage on the top of his head, and there's the little shoulder cape. Okay, and looks like he gets one of the antenna pieces out of here. And actually, is this the same color? No. It's not the same color as the other antenna pieces, but that's okay. I'm actually going to give him one of these blue ones. And I'm just going to set this baggie aside, sealed for future clone troopers. I think it would be cool to give him this blue one, even though it's not accurate to the picture, because blue is the trim color for the 501st after all. So I'll attach the blue antenna to his helmet. If it will let me do so. There we go. We're in. You can see the distinctive arrow markings on his helmet, differentiating him from the other troopers, along with, of course, the shoulder cape. And he's going to have, it looks like, dual-wield blasters. So here's our completed Captain Rex. Let's go ahead and build his little command fighter. And he'll sit in the middle of the spread, right there, with both his teams on either side. Let's begin the actual build now. We're about to hit the 2-hour mark of stream, but this little fighter isn't going to take too long. We'll probably finish by 2.5 hours, which is what I estimated for tonight. We'll be out of here by 3 o'clock in the morning, my time, for sure. Maybe close to, but pretty sure. I may get a few more of the microfighters just to have them, but this one was essential for commanding the this little 501st clone team we put together. And then he became a rebel. And there are some who believe that there's this character in a background shot in Return of the Jedi. There's a rebel who has a resemblance to how Captain Rex looks in the Rebels show. And some fans have retconned the Return of the Jedi trooper to be Captain Rex serving the Rebels after retiring from the clone army. I don't know where I stand on that theory. I just think it's a pretty cool one. I mean, I do see the resemblance between the two characters. Could be him. But until they come out and say one way or the other officially, and I don't think they ever will, I'm not really I don't really go for wild fan theories. I'm more realistic. I'm like, it's a story hook waiting to happen, and I leave it at that. I don't really get into theories. And hey, look, even in a microfighter, which is small and not a lot of places to hide stuff, they still manage to put hidden pink bricks. That's a thing that the designers do, is they like to slip random pink bricks into Star Wars builds that aren't going to be visible in the final assembly. It's a tradition they have, based on a joke that the designers had a couple years ago. I don't know the whole story, so I'm not gonna go telling stories that I don't know, because I don't like spreading misinformation by accident. Y-wings are pretty cool, though. One of the cool things about Y-wings is they were a staple of the Clone Wars of the Republic army, and then the Rebels, not the Imperials, took them over when the Imperials rejected a lot of non-TIE based. The Imperials, basically, when the TIEs were developed, they rejected a lot of the non-TIE based starfighters, considering them less efficient. So the Rebels got the remaining stock of Y-wings and modified them, but they originated in the Clone Wars. The Rebel versions of the Y-wings use an astromech droid socket, but in the Clone Wars they didn't do that. There were actually the Clone Wars Y-wings were designed with two seats. There's a pilot and a gunner. But the Rebels found that design inefficient, so they replaced the second seat with an astromech socket. All right, I can't test. Yes, I can. There's studs in here. So before I get that too far attached, let's pull that gun off so I can test it. This is one of the side loading stud shooters that I was telling you about before. See how it's a slightly different trigger mechanism and load. And I'm going to hold on to this because I see we're going to be putting another shooter on the other side. So I'm going to hold on to that stud for a minute. As far as microfighters go, this one I don't think looks too bad. A lot of the microfighters, they're over caricaturized versions of the source material. Some of them are barely recognizable. Oh, I did those pieces already. Okay then, let's load up. Let's test. Let's set up this shooter then and test this one out. Okay, the test stud is in. The test stud is launched. The shooter works and will probably never be used again. I say probably, I mean, I'm not ruling out certain future scenarios that may or may not happen, but I'm not planning to ever load and shoot these. They also make, much rarer, a 6-shooter stud shooter, and those are really dangerous. So in his little fighter, Captain Rex can fly above the battlefield, keeping an eye on his troops. Alright, so these forward guns are just for show. Even though they're using pieces that in the past have been used as flick fire missiles in the past. But these on this model are just for show. Okay. Time for bag 2. The final bag of the evening. This is what the basic frame of the Y-Wing looks like so far. Let's get these last few pieces out. We've only got about 20 pages left of instructions. We're going to come in well under the 2.5 hours I just predicted a few minutes ago. But that's okay, because I needed for tonight to be a short one. Relatively speaking, of course. Compared with some of the other LEGO streams we've been doing, 2 hours is a little short. Okay, this goes here actually. I do see the stud ammo that's going to be used for the stud shooter. We'll make the ammo stack for this set in a little bit. Once it's clearly marked out in the instructions. The ammo, I mean, they don't do the ammo stack in the instructions. That's something I do. So there is a printed control panel there. This window is almost meaningless because he has an open canopy. But it's a representation of the windscreen as it appears on bigger Y-wings. And now we do a 2X build. So here's the body of the Y-wing with its finished trim. And now all we have to do is build up the two engines. In a full-scale Y-wing, we would probably build one, then the other, because there would be subtle differences in the positioning that would have to be mirrored. But here, it's simple enough that we're just doing a 2X for this one. The Y-wing engine blocks are definitely much shorter than they would be on a full-scale model. I mean, in comparison with the rest of the body. These are definitely scaled down to cartoony proportions. Still gives him a nice, cute little command craft, though. And his little jet trooper is probably going to fly alongside him, helping him oversee the battlefield. I guess. I don't know. Yeah, actually, we just passed the 2-hour mark of stream, and we're already almost done with this. So, yeah, we'll probably finish at about 2 1/4. There's not going to be too much posing. I don't think I'll pose them actually piloting the vehicles. I think I'll just leave them sitting in a row in front like they are now. It's late. I'm tired. And, I'll need to repose them later for the scene, so let's just keep things simple tonight. And a pink engine exhaust piece. A lot of Star Wars ships do that with a trans-colored engine piece like that to show the engine trail, or I should say the engine glow. So these engines are gonna plug into the body like this, and this is definitely a caricatured. Oh, this ammo stack is a tiles. Oof, I can't stack these. But I'll set them aside so that I can at least get them into the bag. You know what? Since they're tiles, I'll attach... does that look good? No, that doesn't look good. How trigger happy is this one? You have to use a little bit of strength, force, I don't know. So it looks like these are going to be spare bits, and I just launched one of those little tiles onto the floor by accident. I guess it's lost forever now. So here's Captain Rex's little command vehicle, Y-wing microfighter. And here's some advertisements. You can see the Luke Skywalker mech, which I actually built that one off stream. The Darth Vader, Boba Fett, and Stormtrooper mechs from last year, finally that we built on stream a long time ago, they finally got a good guy to fight against them. And Luke dual wields with a lightsaber and a stud shooter blaster. And then you can see the two sets from the Mandalore battle from the end of Mandalorian Season 3. And I just built the entirety of Captain Rex's microfighter, I just realized, with the instructions turned off. Sorry about that. Well, it's late. That can be forgiven. But hey, Captain Rex's little command vehicle. We'll set this behind him. And then we will bring in the artillery unit that we built at the beginning of stream. And that will go here. And of course we're setting up the exit pose so the separator can come off. We have of course our 9 clone troopers sitting at attention. Captain Rex in the middle. Jet trooper, 2 regular troopers, and a sniper here. And then here a sniper with mega visor or whatever it's called. 2 more troopers, a regular trooper, 2 dead battle droids. So the artillery cannon is up. We'll bring in the speeder. Fancy big speeder here. And we will bring in the walker. So we did 4 nice builds for our army to use tonight. Our clone army has a walker, a speeder, a heavy artillery cannon, and of course Captain Rex's command Y-wing microfighter. So yeah, this was a fun stream where we just passed the 2-hour mark. Let's go ahead and call it. And of course it's the middle of the night, so nobody's on, and we just missed the European streamers by about 15 minutes. I don't want to hold out with extra surprise content for the next 20 minutes. I just want to call it. So I guess we're gonna raid into Spirit Lana, who's the only musician in my follow list who's currently on. It's been probably 2 years since I've been to her show, so I do not remember anything about her or who she is. But here's Spirit Lana. I do remember she has good vibes and calm vibes on her show, though. So that's a good raid to go to in the middle of the night. So, have a happy rest of your Thanksgiving weekend. Have a good night. And I will see you soon. I will, not this weekend, but next week I'll have some content. Probably another game stream. And then next weekend I'll have another big Lego set. I have several big Lego sets still in the queue. So have a good night. Have a happy rest of your holiday weekend, and I will see you soon. Good night.